Salam sejahtera and a very good day everyone. I hope you guys are doing fine and in the best of your health wherever you are. So let's continue our topic in computer graphics subject, which is today is on clipping chapter. And here is the outline for this chapter, which consists of several subtopics such as point clipping, line clipping algorithm, which we have two, which are Cohen-Sutherland line clipping algorithm and Liang-Barsky algorithm, and the last subtopic is on polygon clipping algorithm. Before we go into deeper on each of these clipping algorithm, let's have some basic understanding and obtain some overview about what is clipping actually. So the purpose of the primary use of clipping in computer graphics basically is used to either remove the objects or a line segment that are outside the viewing pane. And those point and line which are outside the window are cut off from the view. Okay, will be removed from the view. And this process of cutting off or the process of removing part of the image is called clipping. So generally, this clipping is a procedure that we use to identify those portions of a picture that are either inside or outside of our viewing pane. Okay, let's look at this figure down here. I have one figure representing the original picture, and then on my right hand side here is the pictures that represents the figure that we have already performed the clipping procedure. Okay, and this rectangular here, okay, this rectangular is representing the clipping window or view pane. Okay, it's a viewing pane. Okay, the clipping window or viewing pane or the screen that we as a user can see. Okay, and then you can see there are a lot of line here, or the original picture on my left hand side here is before we perform clipping. You will see there are those line that is inside this clipping window, and there are a line that is outside. Okay, so this clipping procedure will identify, okay, whether this line is outside, okay, whether this line is inside or outside, and then the line that is outside of this window will be clipped and removed. Okay, that's why we get the results like in the right hand side here. After we perform clipping, we will get the picture like this, because it will display only those line that is inside clipping window. The one that is outside will be removed. Okay, so this is the basic idea of what is clipping. And why do we need clipping? Okay, why we need to perform this clipping process? Generally, it is used to get rid of the part of the world that is outside our view pane. Okay, if we identify and remove those part that is outside of the view pane, for example, the part of the world that we as a user cannot see. For example, the graphic or the pictures that is behind us or outside of the view pane. And it is good or better to identify those non-visible objects or the object that is outside of this viewing pane as early as possible, because we want to avoid unnecessary work like pixel coordinate calculation and parameter interpolation. Okay, we want to avoid these unnecessary works. That's why we need to identify those portions that is outside as early as we can. Okay, let's look at this example that show how the clipping window look like. Imagine that you have drawn this graphic of two mountains here, and you have to bear in mind that not all of the portion of this mountain can be viewed. Okay, not all of this portion can be viewed by us as a user. Only those who are inside this clipping window, okay, only those who are inside this clipping window, okay, this is the clipping window, only those who are inside this clipping window will be displayed to us as a user that can be seen. Okay, so here how we define this clipping window. If you look at this figure, the clipping window will consist of 4 main points to define the area, which are xw min and yw min here, xw min, yw max, and here is xw max, yw max, and then down here on my right hand side is xw max and yw min. So basically it is just the coordinate to represent this clipping window area, and the word W here on each coordinate is to represent the word window. Okay, don't get confused. W here is to represent the window. So this is how we define the clipping window. Okay, let's look at this example here. For example here, we have 3 types of line. Okay, we have 3 types of lines, whether it is visible line, invisible, or clip. Okay, if it's visible, okay, it is visible. Okay, it is considered as visible if a line that is entirely inside the window. Okay, if a line is totally or entirely inside the window, we can consider this as a visible line. It is considered invisible. Okay, it will be considered as invisible line if a line is entirely outside the window. Okay, it's invisible when a line is totally outside the window. And we need to perform clipping. Okay, we need to perform clipping if a line is partially inside and partially outside. Okay, please remember this. If a line is partially inside and a line is partially outside, we need to perform clipping. And in order to perform clipping, we need to find the intersection of a line with the window. Okay, we need to determine this line, intersection line. So with this figure on my right hand side, I hope you have a better view of this explanation. As you can see from the case number 1, okay, we will go through case by case. For case number 1, those lines are inside clipping window. Okay, there are 3 lines inside this. Okay, there are 3 lines inside this. You will see 3 lines here. So this line is inside the clipping window. This line is also inside clipping window, and this line is also inside this clipping window. So all of these 3 lines are entirely or completely inside this clipping window. So those lines can be considered as a visible line. Okay, all of these 3 lines will be displayed to the user. Okay, this one can be displayed. And then case number 2. Case number 2, those lines are totally outside of this clipping window. So it is considered as an invisible line. Okay, invisible line, because this line are totally outside. Okay, this line is outside, also it will be removed. This line also will be removed because it's totally outside. And then these 2 lines here also will be removed because it's totally outside of this clipping window. Case number 3. Okay, in this figure, you will see that the point P1 and P2 are the point of intersection. Okay, intersection here means that, okay, this one is P1. Okay, this one is P1 and then this one is P2. Okay, this point is the intersection. Intersection here means that the point that is lie the intersect in between clipping window and also the line that is outside of this clipping window. So the line P2 to A dash, okay, P2 to A dash here, P2 to A dash, and P dash, P1 to B dash here, P1 to B dash is discarded or removed and will be clipped. Okay, because this one is partially inside and then partially outside. So those who are outside here will be clipped and removed. This one will be removed, and so this one also will be removed. And case number 4. Okay, in case number 4, this one is considered as a mixed line of clipping because it contains a visible line, it also contains invisible line, and also is involve clipping as well. Okay, in this line. In this figure, A and B here, A and B. Okay, this line A and B will be clipped. Okay, because it's partially inside and it's partially outside. So those who are outside will be clipped. Okay, this one will be clipped, and then this is the intersection point here. C and D. Okay, C and D is inside here. C and D. This line is totally inside this clipping window, so it's considered as a visible line and it will be displayed. This one, okay, will display. And then E and F is invisible line. Okay, invisible line because E and F here, E and F, this line is totally outside clipping window, so it will be reject, okay, and be removed. Okay, I hope you are understanding what is clipping now. Basically, there are several types of clipping that we can apply to, for example, point clipping, line clipping, and polygon clipping. See you in the next video on point clipping. As for now, bye bye first.